Hey, welcome in. Well, here's another example of how wokeness helps absolutely nobody. Here's the headline: real estate websites remove crime data, citing, of course, racial bias. Realtor.com and Redfin both announced they would not include neighborhood crime data. And this makes perfect sense, of course, because by removing neighborhood crime data, you remove the crime. And of course, when there's something inconvenient to wokeness, the only sensible thing to do is pretend it doesn't exist. Yeah, sure, that doesn't actually help anybody. In fact, it will probably actively hurt people. But as we know, that's not what matters. What matters is appearing to be virtuous and being seen publicly saying things that you think will help you, or at least stop crazy people from calling you a bad man from Germany. Let's see. At least 2 home buying sites have eschewed including crime maps for neighborhoods on their websites over concerns that the crime data available is biased against minorities. Because that could be the only explanation, because maybe the data, again, it's kind of inconvenient for woke ideology, for woke orthodoxy. So best just to pretend it's not real. You know how, like, if your home's being invaded and you just close your eyes and plug your ears, it makes everything go away? Or, I guess bad example. Well, say you're being carjacked and you just close your eyes and plug your... Yeah, well, okay. I'm sure this must be a good thing, though. Realtor.com and Redfin both announced on the same day in December that they will no longer provide crime data for neighborhoods on their websites over racial bias concerns. This is actually the most racist thing they could possibly do. Do they think that, what about racial minorities, that they don't want to know crime data? I think that they might. This is so typical of the way that wokeness makes incredibly racist assumptions, which are then used to claim that they're anti-racist somehow. I think that everybody cares about crime. And where there's crime, there's violence. And call me crazy, I just think that everybody cares about the safety of their family and might benefit from knowledge like, crime data when they're thinking of moving somewhere. It's just another case of the world becoming so surreal. Their solution, so that they can look more woke, is to pretend that crime isn't real. That's apparently their solution. Noticing reality is white supremacy, obviously, right? So best just to ignore it. Let's see. On December 13, Realtor.com's CEO David Doctorow wrote in a blog post that the company has been working to break down those hurdles relating to discrimination in home ownership. I guess maybe break down those hurdles in getting people to go to other companies, I'm going to assume. Quote, for example, earlier this month, we removed the crime map layer from all search results on Realtor.com to rethink the safety information we share on Realtor.com and how we can best integrate it as part of a consumer's home search experience. And of course, by rethinking, they mean making it worse to suit an insane ideology. Let's see. In the weeks and months ahead, we plan to examine closely what neighborhood safety means for buyers and renters. Yeah, so let's just change the definitions of words, actually. That's a good idea. Because reality just will conform to that then, obviously. But they plan to examine closely what neighborhood safety means. Do you know what it means? Do you know what neighborhood safety means to you? I think it means kind of the same thing to everybody. Or I'll put it this way. When you're not safe, you know it. Let's see. Our goal is to ensure we are providing consumers with the most valuable, fair, and accurate neighborhood data so they can make informed decisions about where they want to rent or purchase their next home. Sounds like you're actually doing the opposite of that. The way that anti-racism activists are constantly racist. So I guess it's another triumph for diversity, equity, and inclusion, even though this seems to actually reinforce the bias that they claim that they're against, and it actually makes their businesses less useful for people of any background. But just one thing I wonder is the people who run these companies, how much do you want to bet when they move, they know exactly what the crime situation is? Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.